And its sound is on.
Oh, okay. Is it charging?
Yep, it is. Oh, we have one. Oh, no, it's just you.
I have to create a full survey. So which generation? Which
We just asked generation of the most influential.
Oh, which generation of movies do you think is influential?
The most influential.
That is the most influential. Millennial? Oh,
Probably boomer.
silent.
There's not a lot of movies to silent generation, so might
Okay.
as well skip that.
So boomer,
Gen X,
Gen X, millennials,
millennial, and Gen Z.
yes, Gen Z.
Oh, we have our first viewer.
Hi, first viewer. May I know who you are, first viewer? And thank you for being here in our live stream. That I think it rarely happens now. Oh, MB,
Oh, MB. Hi,
hello.
MB.
Oops, my hair is.
Yep. You're probably wondering we don't do live stream quite as often lately.
Yes.
Something to do with the summer, a lot of activities.
Yeah.
Oh, we have 7 now. Cool, cool, cool.
Hi, 7 viewers.
Oh no, at least at 6, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
We have to discount ourselves. Hello, everyone. How's your weekend been?
Yes.
How's your Monday treating you? Or is it Monday in your part of the
area?
globe? Yeah.
Robert. Hello, Robert. How are you? So, Robert, if you're new to our channel, usually when we go live streaming, we discuss or we choose one topic and then we share our thoughts about it. And tonight, we chose movies that shaped millennials' mindset. So, Marky and I belong to the millennial generation, and that's why we chose millennial because we cannot speak for the other generation. But our full survey, it's basically asking which generation you belong to. So yeah, let us know by answering the pool survey, and also if you want to share your thoughts about our topic, let us know in the comments as well.
Yes,
What's the
please.
topic today? MB50 I just answered. So yeah. So of course, right now it's not really a movie, but I've noticed for, is it Gen Z or Gen Alpha, that most of them are watching Peppa Pig, and I don't know with the other countries, but in the Philippines, kids tend to have this British accent, similar.
Adopted
Oh yeah,
because of their
similar to
immersion, how
yes.
Peppa speaks.
Oh, we are actually out of juice. We need to
Oh
charge our
no.
phone.
Exactly.
We did not notice that our phone is actually running out of battery before we.
Okay, here we go. Should be
Okay,
saved.
perfect. Ooh, Aubrey, you're here again.
Hey, Aubrey.
Hi.
Thank you so much for dropping by.
Yes. So, as I've mentioned, our topic would be movies that shape millennials' mindset. And yeah, of course, before when we were like watching films, um, some of the films have left impact on us, and sometimes it influences the way we think, the way we socialize, and sometimes the quotable quotes from the movies is often inserted in some conversations we have with our friends,
Yeah.
and we do sometimes can relate to the movie, and sometimes the solution, if we are in the same situation as it is portrayed in the movie, sometimes we tend to adapt the solution that they did in the movie, hoping that it would work in our own real life.
Yeah, or perhaps just generally just take any opportunity to,
Yes.
like Chinese said, use any quotes from any of your favorite millennial movies. I know, I
Yes.
think there's a good amount of Gen Z in the audience right now.
Oh, let me see. Oh, there's 67%, but there's only three who voted, so we're not sure yet.
Okay,
But
so
we have,
there is a very wide divide because we had boomers and Gen Z,
yeah. So
but
that
no
is a
Gen X and
huge,
millennials.
that's a huge generation gap.
Yeah, where
In
are
the,
my millennial buddies at? And where are
yes.
the Gen Xers?
MB, how is the education system in Canada? Many Indian students are studying in Canadian University. Um, right now, we cannot speak in depth with regards to the question. So I think I'm not gonna be able to answer that intellectually. Maybe in the future, um, if we did some research,
Yeah,
and yeah,
and
if
of
we
course
are
it,
ready to talk about it,
and
then
also it's hard to speak for, of course, a specific group of people when we are not immersed ourselves. So I
yes,
think we need at least to do a deep dive in order for us to be able
yes,
to relay the sentiment, the accurate sentiment, or
yes,
closer to what the actual sentiment is.
yes. So right now we are not in the right mindset. Is that
Or not, or
we don't have
probably
the
not
right
immersed,
intellectual.
or probably not
Um,
immersed to be able to speak accurately or be able to
yes, yes,
relay the experience.
yes. Robert, I subscribe. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Robert.
Yay! New subscriber. Well, anyways, um, maybe we can start with the first movie in our list.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure whether
Either
you
you're, yeah,
are in,
or whatever generation you're from, you're definitely
yes.
familiar with most or
Mhm.
at least majority of these movies.
But I'm talking about the first,
Yeah.
the one in the list.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure you know this one, The Lion King in 1994. So 1994 millennials would be what age? They're too young.
I don't know, probably late or early 30s.
Mhm.
I don't know, my math is off.
No, 1994.
1994, I know I'm 10 years old that time. Oh
You're
no.
giving out your
Yeah,
age.
giving out my age.
Yeah, so yeah, The Lion King. So this one taught responsibility, loss.
Uh-huh.
So this movie is teaching us how to deal with heartbreak at a very young age.
Mm-hmm.
And redemption as well. Helping millennials understand resilience and personal growth.
Yeah, I mean, Disney did try to remake The Lion King
Mm-hmm.
quite recently with a
Mm-hmm.
what live action. It didn't connect the way that the original movie
Mm-hmm.
did.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's near and dear to most millennials because The Lion King is probably the peak Disney movie back in
Mm,
the day.
yeah. And there's this powerful quote that Mustafa said in the movie. Like,
Mufasa.
oh, Mufasa. Mufasa said, what? Um, remember who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I remember
remember
that scene.
who you are. So I think this is something that millennials, or maybe myself, if I
Mhm.
am being put in a very tricky situation, and it
Speaking of The
is
Lion King, we have a cat here.
the mini Lion
Yeah.
King. So yeah, if we are put in a very tricky situation, we remember who we are, especially if we are in being in a situation where it's we are put in a situation where we have to decide and the choices
Mm-hmm.
are really tricky.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to remember who we are, what we really want,
What are values,
yes, what our
perhaps?
values
What do we
are,
stand
which
for?
choice resonates with our values.
And basically, that's the movie. What it's about. It's about
Yes.
like staying true to your values,
Mm-hmm.
staying true to what you value the most.
Yes. Let those
Oh
let
no.
who you are guide you in your journey to life.
Mm-hmm.
Very cliche.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, next would be a 1995 movie. So this one, um, it's a teenage movie, Clueless. So this movie, I haven't actually watched this in 1995. I watched this when I was in my, I think, 20s or
Mm-hmm.
early 30s already.
It was a big movie, and
Yeah.
incidentally, the movies in our list, number one and number two,
Mm-hmm.
are modern retelling of classic
Mm-hmm.
Shakespeare plays. Lion King is a retelling of Hamlet.
Mm-hmm.
Clueless is a retelling of Emma,
Oh.
classic literature.
Mm.
So for those who are young enough, especially for Gen X viewers,
Mm-hmm.
both of back in the 90s,
Mm-hmm.
it's a big what's the word? Movie studios back in the day would like to modernize classic Shakespearean stories. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why you have movies like what Clueless,
Mm-hmm.
10 Things I Hate About You. So those are basically based off on Shakespeare plays.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Well, the quote in here, I'm not sure how this one shaped the millennials' perspective, but it says like, as if.
I think that's the main character's catchphrase. I
Yeah.
think it have
As if.
I think it heavily describes the millennials' general disdain for anything.
But I do remember this when I was young that it's like a common expression
Yeah,
of my batchmates
yeah.
and yeah, the people around me that are of my age.
I don't know if it's still relevant
As
today as
if.
if,
Yeah.
but back in the day it was all the rage.
Yeah. It's like whatever right
Yeah,
now.
it's whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it basically translates to whatever.
Whatever. As if.
Mhm.
Next would be your favorite story.
Yeah, I think this is the first movie though.
Oh yeah. So Toy Story of 1995. So of course this one explored friendship. I think this maybe have influenced millennials mindset on how to deal with friendship, how to deal with change.
Yeah,
Yeah. And maybe the importance of loyalty and life transition. This life transition is something that I cannot forget because you get emotional in that
yeah.
last Toy Story
No,
where
it was the third movie though.
oh okay,
Yeah,
where the what's the name of the main
Andy.
character?
Andy was
Yeah.
giving up the toys, so it was like,
Yes.
oh, it hit me. I choked.
Yeah, Marky cried in that scene.
Yeah, because
It
like
resonates
I
to
think
you
I think
maybe.
because like I feel like you're also growing up with the characters who, when you
Mm-hmm.
started you've seen Toy Story as a child,
Mm-hmm.
and then you journey along with the characters, and then
Mm-hmm.
you go to the what probably the finale of the story or
Yeah.
how the story wraps up.
Yeah.
It was poignant though,
Yeah.
nostalgic.
Yeah. Well, that scene is, I would agree, it is emotional. It is that time where um, you have to let go of your childhood and move on to
Mm-hmm.
the next phase of your life. For some people, it is difficult because um, childhood has been the best days of their life.
Mm-hmm.
For some, of course, and I think this is common for girls, um, we tend to want to grow up fast. I don't know. I don't know with the others. Um, but yeah, girls often wants to grow up fast, look beautiful, excited to wear heels already, wear makeups. So yeah.
Mm. I think that's the opposite with boys. I think I'm
Mm-hmm.
not sure if I speak for the entire
Yeah.
species of men,
Mm-hmm.
but apparently I came across a quote that boys don't really grow old. We only have expensive toys as we grow older.
Anybody, do you agree with
Yeah,
that?
any gentleman in the
Yes.
audience who agrees with that
Yes.
summation?
Yes. Okay, so while we're waiting, if someone wants to comment or share their thoughts about it,
Yeah,
we'll move forward to our next movie, which is the Titanic.
yeah, Titanic.
Yeah.
We agree.
Have you watched that movie, Obi?
Did you, Obi, watch Titanic?
Yeah.
Are you
Oop,
sure?
oop. No, no, this is not for you.
You didn't
Nope.
even existed back then.
Yep. Okay.
So here
So
is
we
our
have Obi.
Obi here. He's a chatty fella.
Yeah.
He likes to join in to our chats.
Yes.
Come here.
Oops.
Say hi. Say hi to our friends.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
He doesn't want to.
What's your favorite millennial movie, Obi?
Titanic. Oh, Puss in Boots. Is that millennial?
Shrek 2 is millennial though.
Okay.
Yeah, Shrek 2 because that's the entry in the Shrek series where Puss in Boots was introduced as a
Oh.
character.
Oh, okay. So, anyways, Titanic. Fun fact. I'm not sure if that's a fun fact, but fun fact.
Or personal trivia, I guess.
Yeah, personal trivia. Titanic is the.
Oh, yes. You want to
So,
chime in? Chime into the
yeah.
discussion? Of course, yeah, yeah. What's your favorite movie? From millennial movie. You're not millennial, you're Gen Z. You're a Gen
Oh,
Z.
I know. You're here. Morning from the other side of the planet. Your tomorrow looks. I can't read this. OB
Sorry.
is
Obi
blocking
is
the
getting
way.
in the way.
Your tomorrow looks great. Ah, that's
You're so
nice to
sweet.
know.
You're so sweet, my friend.
Finally made it to the stream. How are you guys doing? I'm just getting off the night shift. Half sleep already.
Oh,
Oh.
jeez, wow.
I remember you said that earlier in the comment that you've been working a lot. So I think this is the time that you will.
You'll probably have to take care of yourself
Yeah.
and go rest.
Yes. But thank you so much for dropping in our live stream. And if you want to um, uh, spend your
The next
what
few minutes before
the
you
next few
doze off.
minutes, yes, yes. Yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments with regards to our topic. So our topic is about movies that shape the millennials.
Incidentally,
And
for a discussion with millennial movies, we don't have any millennials in the audience yet.
yes,
We have
we have
a tie between the boomers and Gen Z.
yes.
That's a very wide generational gap. We don't even have a Gen Xers.
Where are they? Are they sleeping already?
Where are you at, millennials and Gen Xers?
Or maybe they are partying somewhere.
Yeah, probably. Is there like a millennial or Gen X convention today that we don't know of, perhaps?
Okay. Well, anyways, as I was saying about Titanic or Marky, don't hide. We can only see half your face.
I have such a very huge face, my friend, that I have to make way.
Okay. So, as I was saying about Titanic, personal trivia, this is the last movie we have that I have watched with both my parents.
Mm.
Yeah, because after that, my father got sick. He got stroke. So, yeah, this is the last movie, and I remember my father really loved this movie. Like after we went out of the cinema, he said that the movie has all the recipe, or like it covers all the genre of the movie, like at least almost all.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, to be fair, Titanic was directed by James Cameron. He's a very good storyteller.
Mm-hmm.
Like before he directed Titanic, he made what Terminator movies.
Mm-hmm.
um, you'd be surprised how effective his storytelling skills are because you
Mm-hmm.
get to feel about the characters, a robot or android, and
Yes.
aliens. So he's actually a
Yes.
talented probably one of the great storytellers of all time.
Yes. And of course, you know that Titanic has introduced this historical facts to millennials. Before, this is something that is not quite known to a lot of
Exactly.
people because there's not much internet that time.
Exactly.
And yeah, this is not this historical event is not well known to everybody.
I mean,
And
it's well known, of course, in the global
mm,
scene, but
yeah.
for us in the Philippines, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we're basically ignorant about the
Yeah.
historical event that is Titanic. At the time, it was the biggest maritime disaster.
Mm-hmm.
The movie, when it came out, it sent everyone into a historical
Mm-hmm.
frenzy.
Yes.
Everyone's
Yes. And
interest.
there's kind of like this debate after the movie, like which one of it is true, which one is not, and
Yeah,
which one is based on a real life event. And some of them are actually arguing Rose and Jack are real people. So even for me, I thought they are real until
yeah.
many years after. So yeah, and I think this movie has shaped the mindset of some millennials with regards to love and romantic relationship. This is kind
Hmm.
of like this has become their
The
um,
ultimate romantic
yeah,
movie for millennials.
ideal kind of love, the love of Jack and Rose to each other.
And also, I remember fondly because we watched this movie is 3 hours long. And back in the
Mm.
day in the Philippines, I mean, cinemas have no what's the word? They don't typically limit the number of people who come in the cinema houses.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter if there's any seats available left. You
And if
can,
there's none, you have to stand
yeah,
up.
so I watched this with my friends back in the day. For the entire duration of the film, we stood because there was no seat.
Yeah. And the quotable quote for this one, of course, it's from that uh, one of the famous scene.
Yeah, the King of the World.
Yeah, I'm the king of the
I mean, to be
world.
fair, this movie has a lot of like quotable scenes, or
Yes.
at least, yeah, it can be
Mm-hmm.
referenced.
Yeah. Anyways, so next would be I'm not quite an expert with regards to this. Oh, are you saying that Titanic's legacy was the start of backseat
I mean, to be fair,
fumbles?
backseat fumbles has been around since what? Since the invention of cars, maybe, or at least like that scene that references where uh, Rose
Mhm.
puts out her hand in a steamy back of the window. I mean, I remember back in the day when I used to buy beverage in fridge. We used to put our hand and slide over.
Oh gosh.
Yes, we did that. We did that. Or I did that at least.
I'm so tired even my yawns are starting to
Oh,
yawn.
jeez.
Yeah,
Look at
you,
you,
you
my
gotta
friend.
sleep, Ainur. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, I remember that scene and that scene where Jack is trying to draw Rose.
Yeah.
Um cute neutral cute.
Hmm.
Okay. Well anyways. So the next movie, Mark, you would be able to speak more of this because um, I'm not during that time. I'm not really
Mm.
a fan of these kinds of movies like The Matrix,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, it. I think it challenged the perception of people, not just millennials, about technology. I think this movie has a lot of technological advancement
I mean,
shown in
to
it.
be fair, the Matrix up until this day still like
Mm-hmm.
relevant because it's not only a science fiction movie, it does delve into philosophical questions about what it means to be free, what it means to be enslaved by technology, which incidentally, right now, today, we are technically, I mean, we are basically enslaved by technology because we can't seem to get off our smartphones. So I think that perfectly the allegory presented in the movie Matrix can be somehow reflected in today's society.
Yeah. So this movie is from 1999. It could be that this movie has prepared the millennials of the upcoming technological
Probably. I mean, what's
advancement.
funny because like in the movie The Matrix, the villains of the movie, of course, as you probably already know, the machines or the Matrix itself, they deemed that the 90s was the peak of human civilization. Like we were laughing back in the day because we thought, I mean, this is what they consider to be the peak. But then looking back, 20 years later, it feels like that the 1990s was indeed the peak of human civilization.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also another good thing about The Matrix because it's probably the most revolutionary movie back in the day. I mean, anyone who's seen the movie for the first time, if you've seen that scene or Trinity for the first time, the lady, the main character, did that 360 flip, that blew everyone's minds. They, I think there's never going to be another movie like The Matrix.
Okay. So next, or the quotable quote. I'm not sure
I
how this
mean,
one relates.
I mean, it's actually the quote. There's no spoon. It's actually a philosophical quote. It basically deals about what your perception of the reality is.
Oh.
The reality is what you make of. I mean, to be fair, there's a whole lot of like quotes for the movie that you can probably use in whatever scenario.
Okay. Next one, still, I'm not really familiar with this movie, but Marky is super familiar, he said. So the title is Super Bad and it was shown in 2007. So,
Yeah, I think
yeah.
I could definitely relate to this movie because it somehow like reflects the kind of friendship that I had back in the day with my high school friends, which up to this day we're still friends. It's about the awkwardness of growing up, that transition from being a kid into an adult or young adult. So the missteps, the adventures, and the effort to be taken seriously. Then yeah, I think super bad. I mean, when it came out, I didn't exactly know what was the fuss about, but then when I saw the movie itself, oh, okay, I get it now.
Yeah. What about the quotable quote?
It's not a, I'm not, it's not a quotable quote. You have to see the movie in order for you to appreciate
Yeah.
McLovin. Because it's basically like one of the characters, an underage kid, trying to buy alcohol using a fake ID,
Oh,
and then
okay.
they use the most unconvincing last name,
Yeah.
McLovin. That's why.
Okay. So, anyways, next movie would be Bring It On. In the year 2000.
Mm-hmm.
It is like a fun yet insightful look at competition and cultural appropriation. So I think this one is kind of like
It was like one of those movies back in the day where they inject what dancing.
dancing.
So from what I recall, I haven't seen this movie in its in entirety, but I did see the movie. Only probably half of the movie.
Yeah.
It's about like a cheer dance competition.
Mm-hmm.
And back in the day, especially in our case, in the town where we're from, when this movie came out, everyone was raging on cheer dance competition.
Yeah, I watched this because of the dance and the love story injected in the movie. And other than that, no.
I think
Yeah, I just watch it because of the dancing in there in the
yeah.
love
So
story
basically,
as
this
well.
movie reinvigorated the zeitgeist of cheer dance competition, especially
Yeah.
during what sports events.
Yes. Yeah. Next would be Shrek. Uh, it's in 2001. It's a 2001 movie. So I believe this one is the first
Yeah, the first
Shrek.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I love this one. So yeah, it's a fairy tale but with a twist.
Yes, Ob. Did you like Shrek?
Do you know Shrek, Obi? Yeah.
Oh no.
So yeah,
She probably wants to go out. Maybe a bit.
okay.
Do you want to go?
So I think this one is like it changed. This started like the change of perspective of people, especially young girls, with regards to princesses and the prince
Yeah, I
in
think.
a fairy tale.
And also, I think
It's
Shrek was responsible back in the day
mhm.
because like the movies back in the day were squeaky clean.
Mm,
The main character has to be what
mhm.
superstar or like really really good looking, but
Mhm.
the movie Shrek subverted that
Yeah,
expectation.
yeah. Like value individuality and all
Yeah,
those
like
stuff.
beauty within, all
Yes.
that shebang. But it was a good movie though.
Yes,
I
it
think
is.
if you watch this movie, even by today's standards,
Mm.
it still holds up because
Mm-hmm.
that's how good the movie was.
Yeah.
I mean, it was also like a sarcastic attack on the Disney tropes back in the day about Prince Charming,
Yes.
princesses,
First kiss.
yeah, fairy tale
The
love
knight in
story,
shining
yeah.
armor.
So it was basically lampooning on the idea of what we have grown
Yeah.
up like, especially during.
I think
Um,
it's trying to tell people that especially children that real life fairy tale doesn't look like the Disney fairy tale.
yeah, I think that's basically what the
Mm.
movie was aiming for, and it
Mm.
has succeeded.
Yeah. Okay, and the quote,
Ogres are like
ogres are
ogres are like
like
onions. I mean, to be fair, my favorite quote probably from the movie is what's that? Attention, all fairy tale beings.
what?
Attention, all fairy tale beings. Another one is probably that the quote from the Three Little Pigs.
Mm.
I actually used this in a legal situation. Like he huffed and puffed and signed the eviction notice. I find it funny. I don't know.
Okay. Next would be the Lord of the Rings,
Mm-hmm.
Fellowship of the Ring in 2001.
Okay, I think everybody has a favorite Lord of the Rings movies.
Mhm.
But to be fair, you can't watch one Lord of the Rings movie without watching the entire three movies because like they're basically one entire story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this the like the middle or
No, no,
what?
the original, the
This is
first.
the original?
Yeah, the
Oh,
original
okay.
three.
Mm.
So it was a very good film back in the day. I mean,
Mm.
to be fair, at that point, I mean, Lord of the Rings, Hollywood did try to make a movie about this film, but because it was overly ambitious, so they tried to like postpone it until such time that into the thousands, studios think that they have the technology, they have the capability to tell the entire story
Mm.
faithfully.
Mm. Okay.
And I think another interesting trivia about Lord of the
Mm-hmm.
Rings, the villain, the actor who played the villain,
Mm-hmm.
the British guy, Christopher, forgot his name. He
Mm-hmm.
also played Saruman in Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Let us
Saruman.
know in the
Yeah,
comments if
Count
you
Dooku,
know.
if you know him. He was a very distinguished person.
Mm-hmm.
He is a knight, and he's probably the only person who met the author in real life.
Oh.
And apparently, before he took the role, he was a fan of the books.
Mm-hmm.
Even he was a younger gentleman when he
Mm-hmm.
studied probably in one of those Ivy League universities.
Mm-hmm.
He read the books every year, and then on the last night before he died, he watched all the movies. So
Wow.
he spent his last few hours watching the movies. That's how he
Wow.
loved it.
And the quote is even the smallest person can change the course of the
Yeah.
future.
I think it's basically the
Mm.
stories because like it tells about how innocence can triumph over evil because of course
Mm.
as we probably already know the main star or the main protagonist of the film is a hobbit.
Yeah. So they are the smallest person is literal, can be
Yeah.
taken literally. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Next movie would be Legally Blonde in
Mm-hmm.
2001. So this is like Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this movie. I think this one inspired young girls to wear pink or
Yeah, before
um,
the Barbie craze.
yes.
Or at least it probably inspired a lot of girls who are not being taken seriously to take up law. or to pursue meaningful careers.
Yeah. So of course, this one, this empowered maybe young girls to be more ambitious.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it probably empowered a lot of girls to,
Yeah.
seek meaningful pursuits,
Yeah.
go beyond superficial
Yes.
aspirations of beauty,
Yeah. And
yada yada.
yeah, values self-worth.
hmm
Well, yeah. And what's the quotable quote for this one?
I don't think that's the most quotable quote. I know the most quotable quote from that movie is "Bend and Snap,"
Oh, okay.
because that was very when that quote came out,
Mm-hmm.
everyone was like quoting that "Bend and Snap."
Okay. Anything else you want to say about this movie?
I think that's it. I think I've said everything about
Yeah,
whatever needs to
about
be shared about that movie.
Reese Witherspoon, yeah. Fast and Furious, of course, car racing.
hmm
Is this the movie that um drive people to this hobby, like car racing?
I think the first movie, Fast and the Furious one, was not. It was a cult classic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a far cry from the fast movies that we
Mm-hmm.
are currently watching.
Mm-hmm.
It's mostly just. It's very grounded to think
Mm-hmm.
of it because it was basically just a retread or retelling of the
Mm-hmm.
classic Keanu Reeves movie Breakpoint. Was it Breakpoint?
Mm-hmm.
But back in the day, it did inspired a lot of millennials to take on drag racing.
Oh. Dom 791 movie chat.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly. Movie chat.
So Dom, our topic is actually movies that shape the millennials' perspective or mindset. And that's why we are asking in our pool survey which generation of movies do you think it is most influential, but actually basically it's just asking which generation you belong to.
Yeah,
um,
or letting you asking you which biases are you from? What are your
yes.
biases?
Yes, but of course, if you are maybe raised or influenced by your parents to watch movies, it could be that the movies that resonates with you is not the movies when during the millennial generation. Maybe it's for the boomers or something.
I mean to
But
be,
yeah.
I mean to be fair, I'm a millennial, but back in the day, growing up, most of the movies that I watch is from the Gen X generation,
Mm.
and I know a couple of Gen Zs right now
Uh-huh.
are being raised to or being immersed by their parents with millennial movies.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, next in our list, or did we, you were done with this one, right?
Yeah,
Okay. So next, of course, the ever, I think this one is a famous movie series.
not only
Back in our
yeah,
days.
not only movie series. I mean, the book itself. They were all
Yes.
the rage. I think this book, the book series, back in the day, it inspired a lot of people to go back reading.
Yeah. You talk about movies a lot. I will give likes and come back. Thank
Oh, thank you,
you.
Dom.
Yes.
Appreciate you.
If you haven't yet, please subscribe as well. Okay. It's a good topic, yes. And Marky is a movie lover,
Yeah, I
so
think.
he can talk a lot about movies, and I'm just here to
Yeah,
share some of my thoughts with a few movies that I've actually
I
watched.
mean to be fair, I grew up spending a great amount of my time in cinemas when I was a younger
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah, and when I knew him, he has the collection of like DVDs and VHS, like the whole cabinet
Yeah,
full of movies because we don't have
physical media.
Netflix that time.
Yeah, physical
Yes.
media back in the day.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Dom.
Thank you. And yeah. So, yeah, the next movie would be Harry Potter.
Yeah, the series, I think, or
Yeah.
at least the first movie.
Yeah. So this movie introduced magic, Hogwarts to
Yeah,
millennials. Thank you, yeah. So I think, yeah, aside from magic for Harry Potter, it also influenced millennials with regards to like friendship,
mm-hmm.
loyalty,
The
what?
works.
Yeah, courage.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think yeah. I mean, in the first movie when it came out, like it
Mm.
was a cultural event. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
similar. I'm not sure if we have Gen Zs right now because
Mm-hmm.
apparently, of course, as you were yet to be born or
Mm.
was just born during that
Mm-hmm.
movie.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like similar to what the Avengers was back in
Yeah.
the day. It was a huge, huge deal.
Yeah. I remember for my batchmates and some of my classmates, Harry Potter is actually one of the topics that they would talk about, and they would always compare the book to the movie.
Mm-hmm.
If a book is released, everybody is so adamant at buying one. So yeah, this is a huge thing um,
Yeah, I
back
think
in the days in our
yeah, the
generation.
cool kids back in the day have Harry Potter books.
Yes. And
Actual
yeah,
copy.
that time if you have the book, you are cool.
Yeah, the cool kids.
Yes. Because I think the book are actually expensive during that time.
Yeah,
Mm.
which is funny because right now when you go to thrift shops, you can see like the entire volume of the Harry Potter books, like
Yeah. Yeah.
for a fraction of the price. But back in the day, they were quite pricey.
Yes. Next movie would be Mean Girls. So of course, high school cliques.
Yeah.
Um, so I think this one would it it shaped millennials' mindset with regards to friendship, loyalty, maybe. Um,
Or what it means to be cool.
yeah.
I
Um,
think this is the quintessential millennial movie or
mm-hmm,
teenage millennial movie, Mean Girls.
mm-hmm,
It's like I mean the cast of this movie went on to do incredible things. Like they
mm-hmm,
become like big stars.
mm-hmm,
And I mean some of the quotes. There's a way more. There's a good amount of quotable quotes
mm-hmm.
like fetch, stop making it happen. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Or ESPN.
ESPN, what's that?
I mean, you should see the movie to know what the context of what ESPN. It's actually funny.
Oh, okay.
But,
I watched the movie, but I forgot.
I mean, because there's a character, I think it was Karen. Like she was
Mm-hmm.
instead of saying ESP,
Mm-hmm.
extrasensory perception, she
Mm-hmm.
said ESPN
Oh,
because she has
okay.
a. I mean, her character is dumb.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, this movie. I'm not sure if I watched this when I was like when the movie got
Came
out.
out.
Yeah, but yeah, I've watched this maybe later.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I did enjoy the movie. It's just that it didn't register
Register.
to me.
I think this is probably the only few chick flicks that I would admit to liking. It was smart though. It was smart. It was a
Mm-hmm.
smart movie, despite
Mm-hmm.
on the face value it might look shallow, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
if
I
you watch the movie, it was actually a good critique
mm-hmm.
about.
I kind of don't like the mean girl vibe, like the bullying.
I mean, that's the point about the
Um,
movie, though.
yeah, but I like the aspect where it creates like social awareness with regards to the effect of bullying
Mm-hmm.
to the characters.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Next movie would be The Notebook in 2004. Oh, this one
Mm-hmm.
I love. I think all girls love this
I
one.
think back in the day when it came out, everyone was like swooning over the Notebook. It was like probably that generation or that period's
It's kind
Titanic.
of like all of us are dreaming. This is my dream love story.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it was like a hyper
Yeah.
romanticization, romantic whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know how to speak English.
Yeah,
R-
it's I think it's the kind of love and the commitment to loving one person despite and in spite of everything.
mhm.
I think that is something that um, influenced a lot with regards to um, us on how
I think
we view.
part of the reason because like the Notebook is a I would say if I look or watch that movie right today,
Mm-hmm.
it's a relic back in the day when us are
Mm-hmm.
not too jaded. We're not
Mm-hmm.
too what's the word?
Like
Uh,
when love is pure.
Probably, I would say. I would say it's probably one of the last vestiges of
Mm-hmm.
a generation where everyone is feels connected, or
Mm-hmm.
genuinely connected, or romantically connected. I'm
Yeah.
not sure if anyone would agree, but I think that's
Yeah.
what I think why the movie still endures.
Yeah. Yeah. This is just everybody's dream love story. Like we we hope we find that kind of love in
Mm-hmm.
our lifetime. And next would be I don't know this movie.
I know this movie. It's a quirky story. I mean, it basically doesn't have
Mm-hmm.
like a solid structure or a predictable structure for a
Mm-hmm.
movie, for a
Mm-hmm.
comedy movie. It is basically about an outcast. His name is Napoleon Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I can vividly remember about this movie is when he was campaigning for his friend to run for school president. It was like, vote for Pedro.
Mm-hmm.
This movie is stupid, but it's fun.
Okay. Oh, I've watched this Juno
Yeah,
2007. So this one tackled teen pregnancy
yeah.
and
Yeah, I think
yeah.
back in the day, I mean, teen pregnancy. I mean, probably. I mean, of course, up until today, it's
Mm-hmm.
considered as like a social, pariah. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you're a teenage mom,
Mm-hmm.
the repercussions or the
Yeah.
stigma
Yeah.
attached to that.
And of course, the elders are kind of worried with regards to your future.
Mm-hmm.
So this movie, I think, tackled about responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, and this movie might have, um, it could have been telling the millennial teenagers that time to be careful with
Mm-hmm.
regards to decisions,
Mm-hmm.
and that they have in all
Excuse
of
me.
their decisions they have to face the consequences, and sometimes these consequences of the actions affects your future.
Mm-hmm.
Curtis Watson, Filipino?
Yes, we
Yes, we
are. Yes, we
are.
are. Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Hi,
Or
Chris.
Curtis.
Curtis. Sorry,
Yes.
Curtis. Curtis. If you're new to the channel, Curtis, please subscribe.
Yes. Yeah, and if please answer our poll survey, so we would know how many millennials or from other generation are watching this live stream.
Apparently, we don't have any representatives from the Gen
Gen X. So
X.
if you are a Gen X, then that's good,
Yeah.
since you will be representing your generation.
Hmm.
Okay. Um. So yeah, what else can you say about this movie?
I mean, uh, the movie is okay. I don't
Mm-hmm.
have any fun memories about the movie. It was
Mm-hmm.
just all right. So no,
Mm-hmm.
I don't have anything to add. I would
Yeah.
say.
Okay.
I think the only thing that I remember about this movie is they have probably the quotes. Like they invented a new word for friend. I
Oh.
think it's home skillet. It's a new
Oh.
slang for friend.
Very nice. Very nice. I'll be there in the 10th. Boomer 70 years. Oh,
Oh, look at you, Curtis.
wow.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. And you said you will be there in the 10th, like in the Philippines? You will be
Oh,
visiting
are
Philippines?
you referring to visiting the Philippines, maybe?
Wow. That's nice. Well, anyways, if you have movies in your generation that, affected or
Or probably you would say,
influenced
yeah.
your perspective in life, let us know in the comment. And Curtis is going to Cebu.
Oh,
Wow, a lot of nice beaches in
yeah.
there,
Mm,
and
uh,
seafoods are great.
seafood fresh,
Yeah.
very affordable, crazy affordable.
Mm. Uh, my wife and what's that?
Step.
Stepmother is
Oh,
Filipino. Oh,
so you're
okay.
probably raised in a Filipino values or household.
Yes. Also Iloilo. Oh, wow.
Oh, we love
I'm
it.
Ilonggo.
She's from
And
her family is rooted in that region.
yes, in Iloilo. So Cebu and Iloilo have different language. And notice the difference, like how they talk. And once you're back, or if you have an answer, please let us know in the comments in one of our videos
Yeah.
what you think of the difference between how Cebuanos or people from Cebu talk and the people from Iloilo talks, because there's a huge difference.
Mhm.
Like, just listen to the tone. If you don't understand them, just listen to the tone. I'll be golfing at Iloilo. Oh, wow. That's nice. Um, anyways, yeah, let us know in the future with regards to your experience. Yes, Tone. So you are familiar, you know.
I would know. I mean, even if
Yeah.
you don't understand the language itself, but the unique sound, or what's the term like?
Intonation?
Yeah, intonation. Yeah,
Mm. Yeah. Anyways. So next would be, we have not discussed this, right?
yeah, we
Hmm.
haven't.
So next movie would be The Dark Knight in 2008. So The Dark Knight, this is Batman.
Yeah, this is a Batman
Okay.
movie.
So of course, superhero films, gritty realism. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, you all know the story of Batman. So maybe surviving the storm, even if it wasn't really shown in the movie, but you see how he had become after that tragedy. So I think maybe it influenced the millennials with regards to reality, morality,
Mm-hmm.
the chaos of life.
I think the reason why this movie stands or stood the test of time because apart from being a good superhero movie, it is a good movie. Like you don't have to be a superhero comic book fan
Mm-hmm.
to appreciate this movie. This
Mm-hmm.
movie probably transcends the genre. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's a good movie that tackles posts during that time when we were arriving to the point of like nowadays we probably don't have privacy
Mm-hmm.
the way that we had back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
The Dark Knight probably one of those few pop culture movies that tackled about morality, about invading privacy in order to do good.
Mm-hmm. Curtis, when my wife is talking to her children, I think there is a problem, but not at all. Oh yes, I would assume your wife is Cebuano
Yeah,
or
probably one.
Bisaya. Yeah, Marky is the same.
Yeah, I am Bisaya. I'm from but I'm from this southern part of the Philippines.
Yeah,
I'm Mindanao.
yeah, and the way he talks, sometimes you would think that there's a problem.
Yeah, I mean probably because like the Bisaya intonation or the manner of speaking of the Bisayans are forceful.
Mm.
It sounds like we're egging for an argument, but
Yeah,
that's not the case.
yeah.
It's just a matter of speaking.
Yeah, but in Iloilo, it's gonna be different. You would think that a lot of people, especially girls, you would think that they are flirting with you, but they are not. It's just that they are sweet talkers.
Mhm.
They are smooth. They're soft spoken. So, anyways, where are you folks in Calgary,
Yeah, in Calgary.
Canada?
Oh,
Luzon.
Zamboanga,
Curtis is asking if you are from Luzon. No, we are from Mindanao.
Mindanao. I'm from Davao.
Yes. Yes, wife was born in Zamboanga.
Oh,
So
okay.
probably your wife knows a little
Chabacano.
Chabacano or maybe Spanish.
Yeah, Chabacano. Because Chabacano is
Yeah.
the native tongue.
Nice. Yeah. Well, anyways, let's wait for um, more comments. But moving on to our next movie, I love this movie, The Slumdog Millionaire,
Mm-hmm.
that is shown in 2008. Of course, as you all know, this movie depicts resilience.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's inspiring for millennials to like overcome adversity,
Mm-hmm.
grace under pressure for sure. How would you be able to be composed and think straight and go back to like the memories that you have and relate that to the questions, right?
Yeah, I think
It's
the
like,
reason why this movie hit all the
mm-hmm,
notes back in the
mm-hmm,
day because the storytelling is nifty.
yeah,
It was set on a game show. I'm not sure
yeah,
if any one of you remembers Who Wants to Be a Millionaire,
yes,
and then most of the questions leading to the $1 million jackpot prize.
yes, yes.
The main character was able to relate that to his personal experiences in
Yes,
life.
yes, and I love the the quote in there, like it says it is written. It's not if you just read the phrase it is written, there's nothing to it, but if you have watched the movie, it is very meaningful, like for this phrase. It's like um, the main character, what's the name, Jamal.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jamal is destined to win that million dollars, and yeah.
I mean, despite the movie also being like a favorite amongst millennials, there's also a fair share of criticism being considering it's too schmaltzy or I don't know
Mhm.
contrived. But anyway, all movies are contrived.
Yeah.
But
The
anyway,
important thing is the message that
and,
it
al-
brings, of
and also I
course.
was like curious because the movie depicts life in was it India, if I recall? And we
Mm-hmm.
do have Indian brothers here from in our channel, so we would like to know was the story or was this movie a big
Yeah.
back in your
Is
home
it
country?
yeah, is it like famous in your country
Yeah,
since it shows the
in
life
yeah in
of
Indian culture.
yeah, in the Indian culture. Curtis Walton, a bit. I have a good friend who lives in Valencia City, Bukidnon. She was secretary to the Sanggunian. Don't mean to be off topic. I am
Oh,
listening.
it's perfectly
It's
fine.
okay.
I mean, I love Bukidnon. We love Bukidnon.
Yeah. So Bukidnon has a lot of tourist spots.
Yeah,
We love going there when we were in the Philippines because the climate there is colder or
yeah,
cooler
cooler because like
compared to like
the
in the
city.
city.
Yeah, because we're from Davao, and
Mm-hmm.
Davao is a coastal city,
Mm-hmm.
and for the most part, it gets too humid, too hot.
Yes.
And Bukidnon is an elevated
Mm-hmm.
province or region,
Mm-hmm.
so it takes probably 6 to 8 hour drive to reach Bukidnon.
Yeah.
But it's a
Yeah.
very lovely place.
Yeah. Okay, so next movie, or do you have anything more to say about
I
Slumdog
think I've
Millionaire?
already added or said what I wanted to say about the movie.
Okay, oh, we have lots of boomers right now.
Oh, okay.
So 50% of the viewers are the boomers, only 25% for both
Yeah,
millennials and Gen
for a
Z.
millennial centered topic, there's not a whole lot of millennial audiences.
Maybe when we post this video, hopefully
Yeah,
there's more
hopefully.
who will be watching. Okay, next would be Lost in Translation. Okay, I see the beautiful Filipina. Did the handsome fellow need to move back so he can be seen? Yeah, it's always like this in our live stream. Like you always see most of me, and Marky tends to want to hide in
Yeah,
the
the reason being,
camera.
Curtis, because I have such a huge head, a coconut head that takes most of the space. So that's why I have to like scoot
Yeah.
off camera.
To his right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyways, yeah, for the Lost in Translation. So yeah, it is a quiet, introspective film about loneliness
Mm-hmm.
and connection. So yeah.
I don't know.
Does it resonate with you though,
I
as a
don't know.
millennial?
I mean, I understand because I feel like the movie was mostly I know from how I interpreted the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, on a surface level, it tells a story about a December love affair.
Mm-hmm.
But a good thing about that because it is a study about fear of growing old,
Mm-hmm.
not being able to connect with the younger people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I guess that's how I view the movie when I
Yeah.
saw it.
Mhm. And the quote, let's never come here again because it would never be as much fun.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, I don't recall, but I know that
Me too.
that was Scarlett Johansson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyways.
Curtis was like, I couldn't really get into that film. Are you referring to Lost in Translation, Curtis?
Oh, I couldn't really get into that. Yeah.
Or probably what Slumdog Millionaire?
Yeah. I'm not sure if this is the movie that I've watched that I wasn't able to get it the first time I watched it. It could be this or the Eternal Sunshine.
I don't know.
It's still Kate Winslet, right? For the Eternal
Yeah.
Sunshine, yeah. There's the movie of Kate Winslet that the first time I watched it, I was not able to get the story. Like, what was that? Like, what's
I
the
mean,
story
to be
again?
fair, during that period, there's a whole lot of experimental movies that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean,
So I think the reason why I did not get that movie is because it started from
oh,
it
non-linear,
like yeah.
non-linear storytelling.
Yeah, so it's like it's the other way around. The
Yeah,
ending, the supposed ending was actually put in the beginning.
yeah, I kind of like that movie though.
Yeah, it was weird for me. Okay. Next would be Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Spider-Man. My nephew when he was young, he would pronounce this Spider-Man as Spider-Man.
yeah.
Dom
Oh, you're
7921.
back.
You're back. Okay, so yeah, Spider-Man. So of course, this one, I think this is one of those movies that shaped the millennials' mindset
Or probably the millennials' fascination with
with
superhero
yeah
movies,
with
because when
superheroes.
Spider-Man came out, for the next 20 years, there's nothing but superhero movies.
Yeah.
You can't go to the cinemas without seeing or coming across superhero comic book movies
Yes.
for the next 20 years.
Yeah, and what I can remember about this movie, I think for me personally, it has this quotable quote that tells you about responsibility.
Yeah,
Yeah, with great power comes great responsibility.
yeah.
So yeah, um,
I mean, apart from that, the movie has a whole lot of meme potential.
mm-hmm,
Like, it's constantly being humorously referred to by millennials. Like, I'm
mm-hmm,
something of a scientist myself.
mm-hmm.
What was that again? I think I forgot, because there's a lot of like quotes from this movie that being used off out of context.
Mm-hmm. I like the comics by Dom. Full stop.
Oh,
Mm. So do you have like collections of the comics for this one, Dom?
and on that note, Curtis, it's bedtime for Curtis.
Lul, I'm glad I found your live and I will see you again. But my wife is saying it is our bedtime.
Yeah, the
Good
wife
night.
always,
Yes. Yeah.
takes charge.
Um, go to bed with your wife already. Otherwise, you might be ending up living outside the bedroom.
Or probably sleeping on the sofa or the couch. We
Yeah.
don't want that for
Yeah,
you,
we
for
have
Curtis.
this term in the Philippines, like outside the kulambo. I'm not sure if you're familiar.
Mhm.
But yeah, good night. And yeah, we hope to see you in our future live stream.
Yeah,
Okay, for Dom, yes, from being a
I
child.
mean, to be fair, like,
Mhm.
Spider-Man is probably apart from Batman,
Yeah.
probably the most recognizable fictional
Mhm.
superhero character.
Mhm. And if you're still interested with regards to comics, I think there are quite a few stores right now. I
Uh-huh.
think it's becoming a thing again.
Yeah,
And there are comic stores that is thriving.
and
Like here
also
in
in Calgary.
Calgary.
And also in our one of our videos,
Mhm.
on the market hopping video that we did, a long
Mhm.
form video, we visited a couple of like niche
Mhm.
hobby stores
Yeah.
that sells collectibles. So if you're interested in, if you would like to know what the geek culture is here in Calgary, you should
Yes.
probably check that video.
Yes. And yeah, I think the things in the past, like the comics, the vinyl, I
Mm.
think it's becoming a thing again right now.
Yeah,
Maybe the current generation are curious. It's either that they are curious with regards to those things, or maybe they find it better to explore those things than see them online.
I don't know. I think there's a growing movement
Mm-hmm.
leaning towards vintage aesthetic.
Yeah.
So there has been there's a couple like vintage stores popping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm not really sure why it's becoming famous right now, or what motivated the earlier generation, or the generation
Current
right
generation.
now.
I think it's probably because like we are so bombarded with a whole lot of noise, whole lot
Mm-hmm.
of choices.
Mm-hmm.
So probably the kids nowadays would probably like to experience the simplicity that we had back then. Maybe, perhaps that's the reason. Any
Yeah.
Gen Z?
Yeah.
Please confirm.
Yeah, since we have 22%
Uh-huh.
Gen Z viewers, let us know what motivates you to actually indulge yourself with this old stuff,
Yeah.
like the vinyl, the cassette tapes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, moving on to our next movie, of course, X-Men, another superhero movie.
Yes.
Um, so this one is came out first before Spider-Man.
Yeah. In the year 2000.
Yeah, but which movie do you think has actually um, uh, poked the interest of millennials?
I would say X-Men. X-Men probably had to run so that Spider-Man can walk. Reason being, pop culture discussion, of course. Like back in the day, during the late 90s, the superhero movies were dying because of the failure of the last two Batman movies. They become at that point superhero movies were considered to be what, juvenile or a joke, because like producers were not taking them seriously instead of adapting meaningful stories, because like even if let's say superheroes are considered to be childish thing, but there's a lot of stories from comic books that are adopted that gears towards the adult. So that's why the X-Men movies back in the day, or the year 2000, resonated with people back in the day. It did not only captured the interests of comic book fans or younger viewers, it also captured the interests of the adults, because it kind of like they managed to effectively inject real life events or real life social political events. That's why it was so effective. Like, yeah, like I said, it revolutionized superhero films because it wasn't just about people wearing costumes. It was tackling real world themes, discrimination.
And I like the quote in this one. It's very deep by Magneto. It says, "Mankind has always feared what it doesn't understand."
Yeah, and I kind of like Magneto when he seems to be um, arrogantly looking down on humans. He referred to humans in the movie Homo sapiens. He
And the
disdainfully
actor is super good with regards to portraying that kind of character. What's his name?
I think he's the same guy who played Gandalf from Lord of the Rings. Ian McKellen is a British guy. He's really good.
Yeah. Okay.
And also X-Men was shot. I think X-Men was shot here in Canada as well. Yeah.
Okay. Next would be Attack of the Clones in 2002.
Yeah,
I'm not
I think we
familiar.
should probably lump all the three prequel movies Star Wars because they're basically from the
Oh,
same
okay.
series. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I actually skipped one. Okay, so the first one would be the Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
So there's three in our list. It's part of the Star Wars series. Phantom Menace in 1999, Attack of the Clones in 2002, and Revenge of the Sith in 2005. And of course, Marky would be able to talk more about this since I'm not really familiar with this series.
Oh, it's a
I
bedtime.
have to go under blankets. I like your thank you, Paul. Thank you.
Thank you so
as
much,
well.
Dom, for spending your
Yeah.
last few hours before
Yes.
going to sleep with our channel.
Yeah, and yeah, we are down to our last movie as well, and we are gonna doze off after this.
Yeah,
too.
exactly. Because it's also 11:22 here in the evening.
Yeah,
Bedtime for us as well. But we
Yeah.
would like to cap the night with with
this
YouTube
kind of
friends.
conversation. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so yeah, tell
Yeah.
us about this.
I know it's basically just the prequels. I am a big on I think the prequel era is my generation of Star Wars. I mean, Star Wars back in the day. I mean, of course, as you probably already know by now, if you're into pop culture, it is overly saturated because Disney has been producing Star Wars TV series. But back in the day, it's a once in a generation event. So boomers probably grew up. I think the boomers and the Gen Xers were the first to watch the original Star Wars trilogy from the early 80s. And then us millennials, our version of Star Wars was the prequel era, episode 1, episode 2, episode 3. So
What do you think is in the movie that influenced us millennials?
I think it's basically, I mean, the prequel is a story about the main character, Anakin and
Mm-hmm.
Obi-Wan.
Oh, Obi-Wan. Where's
Yeah, our
Obi-Wan?
cat. So, as you probably already know, that we have been constantly repeating, our cat is named after the main character of Star Wars. One of the
Yeah.
main characters, Obi-Wan.
Yeah, that's one way of us being influenced by Star
Yeah,
Wars.
exactly, millennials.
The fandom of Obi-Wan, one of the
Yeah.
characters.
So I think basically it tells a story about Anakin and Obi-Wan, how they parted ways, how they
Mm.
started as, of course, in their relation as mentor, student.
Mm.
And then Obi-Wan stayed true to his virtues, to his values. He was
Mm.
incorruptible.
Aw.
However, Anakin, because he is holding off to his love or his
Aw.
attachment to his wife,
Aw.
so that's why he went into the dark side or yada yada.
Oh, so that is like where this quote came from,
Mhm.
maybe. Fear is the path to the dark side.
Yeah, so it's basically the three movies is the culmination of the story about
Mhm.
Anakin Skywalker's fall from grace
Mhm.
and their divide between Obi-Wan.
Mhm.
So Obi-Wan, of course, he carried on the guilt of being not able to become an effective teacher or mentor.
Mhm. I like this quote. Like, fear is the path to the dark side.
Mhm.
So yeah, um,
Hmm.
so don't be afraid
Hmm.
if you don't want to go to the dark side.
What?
Yeah, but yeah, this one is very deep. Like, I think this quote is more of like, if you fear something in life, that fear will actually drive you to what you are
Mhm.
afraid of. So yeah.
I mean, to be fair, the prequel Star Wars series has a lot of mem potential, like a lot of movies. Even the simple greeting of Obi-Wan, of "Hello there," has its own context.
Mhm. Yeah. See.
Mm.
Okay. So yeah, I think that's all.
Yeah,
That's all
we've-
for our topic for tonight. Movies that shape millennials' mindset, and I hope some of the quotes that we've mentioned. I hope that is something that um, relates to you as well, or you find relatable. And yeah, um, until our next live stream.
Mhm.
Please subscribe to our channel if you haven't yet. And if you are here often and you are a silent viewer, thank you so much for staying up to the last part of this live stream. And yeah, thank you and have a great night.
Have a good night.
Yeah, see
Take
you in
care.
our in the future live stream. Bye.